Welcome, new Odooers. More and more countries are requiring businesses to submit invoices electronically, such as Belgium's requirement for January 2026. It's important to stay up to date with these government regulations, and Odoo is here to make it as simple as possible. In this video, we'll cover how to create an Odoo database and how to connect with Peppol to send and receive e-invoices so that you're fully compliant. Let's get started. First, we need to create a database. If you've already created one, you can jump to the next chapter of this video. If you haven't, we can go to odoo.com/trial or just odoo.com and click Start Now. It's free. Here, we can select all the applications we want included in our database. But if we want to use the one app free plan, we need to select only one. If we scroll down, we have the option to select the invoicing app, which has everything you need for sending and receiving e-invoices with Peppol, as well as managing a few extras like customer follow-ups. Or we can choose the accounting app, which is like an upgraded version of the invoicing app. So it can do everything that the invoicing app can, plus even more advanced features to cover all of your accounting needs. If you have any accounting needs beyond just sending and receiving invoices, I'd recommend installing the accounting app. But for this video, we'll keep it simple and use the invoicing app. So I'll select that and click Continue. And now we need to fill out these fields to create our database. So the name here is the name that will be used for the user. And here, the company name will also be used as the URL of the database. We have an email address, phone number. The country is really important here because it determines the default accounting settings. And I'll say that I'm a teacher and we'll click Start Now. The next step is crucial. We need to activate this database by going to our email and clicking on the Click to Activate Your Database link. If you haven't already logged in, you can add a password and then we can skip this free mug offer and click the link back to our database. And now we can see that back on our database, the banner is gone and our database is good to go. Next, we'll set up everything we need to be able to send and receive invoices via Peppol. We'll click on Settings, and then under Companies, we'll click Update Info. Here, we'll fill out all the information about our company, such as the VAT, phone number, company ID, etc. And after entering the VAT and saving, the company ID will actually automatically be populated. Note that there are some minor differences between the databases of different countries. Since I chose Belgium when creating the database, I have the Belgian localization, but yours might look a little different based on your country. Next, we'll use the menu at the top of the screen to go back to the general settings, and we'll scroll all the way down to the section called Developer Tools. And here we can click Activate the Developer Mode, and this shows the more technical fields that you won't need during the day-to-day use of Odoo, but will need them to be visible for setting up Peppol. Now that we've activated the Developer Mode, we'll click on Invoicing, or Accounting if you're using the accounting app. And it's important to go through all of these settings and make sure that everything is set up correctly for your business. The fiscal localization provides a baseline for companies in the specified country, but if you have any questions about what to set for any of these fields, ask your accountant to go through it all with you. For now, we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom to the Peppol electronic invoicing section and simply click Activate Electronic Invoicing. The company information that we had already filled out is automatically populated here, and it's important to note that we have different options for how to identify the company. In Belgium, we have the Belgian Company Registry and the Belgian VAT. For 2025, it was okay to use the Belgian VAT to identify the company, but as of January 2026, it's required to use the Belgian Company Registry instead, so we'll use that. And we'll just add our phone number here, and it's good to go. So we can just click Activate. Next, we'll create a customer record and configure it so that we can send them invoices via Peppol. To do that, we'll go back to our main dashboard by clicking on Settings here in the top left, and then we'll open the invoicing or accounting app, whichever you've installed. And we'll click on the Customers menu and then onto Customers. On this page, we'll have a list of our customers. So let's create the first one by clicking New. On this form, we'll enter all of our customers' information. So customer, their name, their email, and their country of their address are all important fields. Next, we'll go to the Invoicing or Accounting tab, and we can enter this customer's preference for how they receive their invoice down in the Invoice Sending field. So we'll select by Peppol, and we can also select their preferred invoice format. We'll use the EU standard Peppol BIS 3.0. Next, we'll choose how to identify the customer. So again, we have the Belgian company registry option or Belgian VAT. We'll use the registry. And finally, their Peppol endpoint, which in this case is the company registry number. Once we do this and we click outside of the field, we'll see the Peppol endpoint verification appear. If you don't see this field, make sure you have activated developer mode. We can click on the Verify button, and we'll see that the Peppol endpoint verification has changed to valid. It's possible that this contact is not yet registered with Peppol, in which case this will say not on Peppol. It's also possible that the contact is registered with Peppol but requires a different invoice format. In this case, it will say cannot receive this format. You can always reach out to your customer to ask them which format they prefer. In our case, it's valid, so we can move on to the next step. So we've configured our company, which only needs to be done once. Then we created and configured our customer's contact record, which we'll have to do just once for each new customer. Now we're ready to create and send an invoice. And we can find our invoices by going up to Customers, Invoices, and then we'll click on New to create a new invoice. Since we already created a customer, we can just start typing here, and their name will pop up, and we can just select that existing customer from the list. Next, we'll click on Add a Line in the Invoice Lines section. And in Odoo, a product could be a physical product like a desk or a service like consulting services. Here we can select a product if we've already created one, or we can create a new one just by typing a new product name and clicking on Create. Or if we want to just add a description for this line instead of creating a product that we might use repeatedly, we can click on the 3 horizontal lines here or just hit Enter, and then we can add our description. Next, we can update the quantity, price, and taxes for this line. And if we need to add multiple lines, we can simply click Add a Line again and do it all over. But for our case, it's ready to go. And when we have everything set, we can just click on Confirm, and then we'll click on Send. In the Send pop-up window, we can choose how to send this individual invoice, and we could leave it as this customer's default of by Peppol, or we can also include by email, and here we'll see the email that will be sent, but that isn't necessary for sending via Peppol, so we can just leave it as sending by Peppol. So we'll click on Send, and it's all done. And just like that, you're now fully compliant with the Belgian regulation for 2026. That's everything you need to know for sending electronic invoices via Peppol in Odoo. Keep in mind that once you have your company and your customer contacts set up, all you'll have to do for future invoices is that final step of creating and sending the invoice. For more information on how to use Odoo or the accounting application specifically, check out our e-learning videos and our online documentation.